Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is just going to be a chatty get ready with me. I'm going to be using the products, ooh, if I can grab this bag, that I pulled out for my July Shop My Stash bag. So if you missed yesterday's video, I was going over my June recap, all the products that I chose out, my little thoughts on them, and then I also shared what I decided to pull out for July. And like I do on the first Friday of the month, I'm going to be doing a get ready with me featuring those products. So let me go ahead and get started. So I pulled out two different primers. So I have this one here from YSL, the Touche Éclat Blur, but I also wanted to use this MAC Fix Plus matte spray. I've heard that it's a nice primer spray, so I didn't love it as a setting spray, so I'm going to try it as a primer spray. So I'm going to use this one today. I do like to shake this one up. I do also have to zoom you in, hello, but I'm just going to go ahead and spray my face with this. Alright, so I'm going to let that sink in for a little bit, and I'll just see if I notice any differences with it, if I like it that way versus as a setting spray. We'll see what happens. But moving on, for my foundation, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Youth Boosting Foundation. And I am going to use a sponge. I just really do prefer just a nice damp sponge for my foundation. So it's just a squeeze tube here. So I'm just going to squeeze a bit on to my sponge and then apply to my skin. I really like this foundation for the summer. Last year I did a video about my top foundations for summer, and I'm pretty much confident this one was mentioned. I kind of want to go back and check out that video. I like to, since I don't upload on Saturdays, a lot of times I like to share kind of like an older video, just like reshare it on my community tab and like Twitter and things like that. So maybe I'll try to share my foundation video from last summer. For my concealer, I'm going to use the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I'm not a huge fan of this one, but I'm going to try it out for the month and see if I like it any more or any less. But so many people love this one. I just was never able to get into the hype with it, but go ahead and try it again. Let's see, we're in July, which is crazy to me. It's like so sad to me. I feel like June always goes by so fast, and then by the time you get to July, does anyone else feel this way? Like you feel like summer's like pretty much over and you're like, oh my god, you're like scrambling to do all the things that you said you were gonna do once it was summer, because I feel like that's how I'm feeling right now. There's so many things that I wanted to do and see and places that I wanted to go, and now I'm like, how am I supposed to fit all this in? It feels like, it just feels like the clock is ticking. But I do have something pretty exciting coming up for July. I've started to kind of, I don't know if I want to say like drop hints, but I've been kind of started to let people know that something is coming, and stay tuned, and I'm really excited. It's going to be coming sooner than you think, and I'm really excited to share this news because I've been holding it in for a while. And I can remember so many months ago I took a photo on my Instagram stories and it just wrote like, it was like, today is an exciting day, and I was like, no, that's dumb, don't post that. Because it was the day that like everything was confirmed, and I was just gonna be like, today's a wonderful day, like da da da, and then I was like, no, that's dumb, don't do that. So literally it's just like, as July hit, the first day of July, I posted on Twitter and Instagram stories and Instagram, my regular feed. I was like, something's happening in July. Like I waited until like the very last possible moment to like say something exciting is coming, because I guess I was just kind of worried, like what if it doesn't happen, what if it doesn't go through, what if, I don't know, something I don't know, just like what if. But something exciting is coming in July. Stay tuned. Like I said, it's coming sooner than you might think, and I can't wait to share this. This is pretty much like one of the most exciting things that has happened, so I'm really excited to share that with you guys. I'm going to use my Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder. This is just a translucent powder. I'm going to use that to set the concealer. I did go boating last week for a friend's birthday, and I got like just a little bit of sun on my nose and like on my chin. So like those spots are like randomly peeling. But it was so funny. We went out, we had knew that we were going boating for our friend's birthday. She goes boating every year for her birthday. And so we knew that this was happening, and I went last year for her birthday, but that was the first year that I went. And I guess she just has like horrible weather every year, and it's always the last Friday in June. That's when she does the boating, and I guess she just always has horrible weather for it. And we had seen that it was supposed to be in the 90s, like even like high 90s in Iowa, and we're like, oh my gosh, like boating is gonna feel fantastic. We're gonna want to be in the water the whole time. We wake up on Friday, my friend goes out and walks her dog, and she's coming back, she's like, oh, it's so hot out there, like can't wait to get on the boat. And as we're waiting for a couple of the girls to get there, all of a sudden all these dark clouds come in, and we're like, where did these come from? What is happening? And my friends there just like, I knew it. Like, I knew it was too good to be true. And we had a horrible storm hit eastern Iowa. We're more in like central Iowa. A horrible storm was going through eastern Iowa because one of the girls that was coming was driving from there, and she said it was so horrible. There was tornado warnings in some places. We're just like, how did this happen? There was no rain, no storms, no anything in the entire forecast, and all of a sudden, an hour before we're getting ready to go on the boat, the weather just changed drastically. So we're looking at the weather and we're looking at the radar and we're like, okay, it's still saying that it's supposed to be a nice day, so like, let's just go out and see what happens. And for the first like 2 hours that we were on the boat, we were like cuddling under our towels and we were cold, and it was just kind of like, oh gosh, like we're probably not gonna be out here for very long. And then I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden it got so hot. The sun came out full force, no clouds. We were in the water, like relief, and it was bizarre. I mean, that's just Iowa Midwest weather for you, I guess, but it was totally bizarre. But once the sun came out, I mean, we were just like SPF 50, like oh my gosh, like obviously you can still get a sunburn with it being overcast, and we all applied sunscreen before we got on the boat. But that was when it felt like every 30 minutes we were like, more sunscreen, more sunscreen, more sunscreen, because we just obviously don't want to get burnt. And I feel like I did a really good job. I really don't have like burns anywhere else except just a little tiny bit on my face, and I kept applying it to my face too. So, but I mean, I feel like that's pretty good, especially because we ended up being on the boat from 11:30 to 5:30. So I felt pretty proud of myself, and that was my first time being out in the sun like that. You know, sometimes like when you go out for the first time, it's just like you get burnt just no matter what happens. Like that just is what it is. So I was pretty happy. I felt like I did a good job reapplying my SPF 50. For my bronzer, I have the Urban Decay Beached Bronzer in Sunkissed. I have not used this bronzer in so long, so I'm really excited to give this one a whirl again. This one is one of those bronzers that has almost like a little bit of red to it. It can almost kind of give you that illusion of being a little bit more on the sunburn side, which I was just saying, you know, I probably don't need, but sometimes it's nice for summer because for whatever reason we don't want to be sunburned, but it kind of gives you like that natural I've been in the sun look, if you will. I almost feel like it applied a little bit patchy though. I don't know. Let's try the other side and see how we do. Kind of, you know, one of the points of my Shop My Stashes is to try out products that maybe I haven't been using as much, or you know, something along those lines, and see if I really want to keep them around in my collection, because I'm not trying to do like a really cutthroat curated collection. But I just don't want to continually keep stuff around if I don't really want them, or if I don't like really use them, you know? So I feel like I have quite a few like almost like chopping block products in this month's Shop My Stash, and we shall see how we do when we enter into August. Let's not talk about that. Let's just enjoy July. So what this video is going up on, it'll be July 5th. For my Americans, did you have any fun 4th of July plans? I'm filming this on Tuesday because I know that I am going to be out of town with some friends to celebrate America's birthday. But I'd love to know if you guys have any fun plans. We don't have anything set in stone yet, but we typically do something, or, you know, watch fireworks somewhere or something along those lines. So we'll definitely be doing something. We just don't know what yet. For blush, I'm going to use this one from Essence, one of these Silky Touch blushes. This is in Baby Doll, and this is another one that's kind of on my chopping block. Like, I cannot remember the last time that I used this blush, so I thought that I would pull it back out. I know that these are super, super affordable from Essence, and I had more in my collection at one point, but I decluttered most of them out, but I always kept around this one in Baby Doll. It has a nice sheen to it. So the Urban Decay bronzer is a matte bronzer, not more of a matte, but it is a matte bronzer. And this one has a bit of a sheen, which I do like glowy products, especially right now. And for summer, I'm really into glowy bronzers and blushes and all of that. So I think that looks pretty. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows off camera just to kind of speed it up. So I'm using my Benefit Precisely My Brow, and then we'll jump over into the eyes. All right, so brows are done, and then jumping over to eyes, I chose out the Flamingo palette from Voss because I just thought this one was very summery and beautiful. So this is what we're going to be using today. I initially was kind of thinking about the yellows, but I did purchase the Honey palette from Colourpop, the yellow one. So I know that I'll have some yellow looks coming up. I'm kind of thinking maybe some blues, like this shade, Surf, it's not even called sand, is kind of calling my name at this moment. So I'm thinking about maybe using that one. But I'm also really excited to do the eyes because I'm using this beautiful brush set that I received. This is the Doll 10 collaboration with Makeup Molly. Makeup Molly is one of my YouTube friends here, and I was so excited to see her do a collaboration. I mentioned it in would have been last week's Will I Buy It video, and I'm so excited because they did show up. So thank you to Doll 10 and Makeup Molly for sending these over to me, and I'm so excited. Today's going to be the first time that I am trying them out, and they are so beautiful and they feel really nice. Like the handles feel like nice quality, the brushes feel nice and soft, so I'm so excited about this. You get 8 different brushes. They also came in a nice case. So I'm first going to use the Prepping Perfector, and I'm going to pick up the shade Sand in the palette, and I'm just going to use this shade to dust over the concealer that I placed on my eyelids. And then I think I just want to jump right into the blues and see what we can come up with. So I'm going to come into Oceanfront, and I'm going to use the Crease Creator for this one. So I'm just going to pick up some on my brush, tap it off, and then I'm going to start to just work this right into the crease. I'm going to use that same brush still and just build it up a little bit more. I mean, so far I've only used like 2 brushes, but so far the quality does feel really nice on the eyes. They're not scratchy at all. Nice and soft. I feel like they're like this one is blending the shadow super easily. And then the shade that I was most excited for, this one in Surf, I'm just going to go ahead and place that one down on the lid and then see if there's any other colors that I want to add in. I'm going to use the Shadow Shader brush. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick up a little bit of this blue, and then I am going to spray it with some Fix Plus just to have it damp. And I'm going to go ahead and start to tap this along the eyelid. So this is a really cool shade because it's blue, but it's more like a blue-green. Kind of gives me some mermaid vibes in here. I think that's really fun. I just wanted to do something kind of fun and colorful, slightly different for me. Slightly. And just kind of see what we could do with this palette. I think this palette is going to be a lot of fun to have for July and kind of inspire me to do a few different looks for me, incorporate a little bit more color. And I feel like, again, July is a good time to do that. I did get a little bit of fallout, so I'm just going to go ahead and lightly dust that away. But I wanted to do something more colorful but still really simple at the same time because I'm a big fan of simple and quick eye looks, especially in the summer. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same on the other eye and see how I'm liking it. So I'm just going to take that first brush that I use and just kind of run it back and forth here. And I think that's where I'm going to leave the lid look for right now. I feel like that was pretty quick, easy. I feel good about this one. I feel good about this one. I did grab out a blue liner, so I think maybe that's kind of why I was gravitating towards the blue also. This one is from Marc Jacobs, one of the Highliners. This is an Odyssey, so I'm just going to add this to my waterline. So coming back into the palette, I'm going to pick up Beach Ball, which is kind of more of this beautiful green. And then I'm going to use the line definer from the Doll 10 set. And I'm just going to run this really close on the lower lash line, kind of like pressing that in to the lash line here. My neutral self really wants to grab a more neutral color to smoke out the lower lash line, but I'm going to try to stay away from that. I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of Oceanfront, and I'm going to use the Detail Dazzler, and then I'm just going to go ahead and kind of smoke out that darker shade and see if I like it. Not a 100% on this. I was thinking maybe a brown, because otherwise I don't know if it's just going to be like too light on the eyes for my personal preference, but you know, give it a shot here. So I think that's where I'm going to leave the eyes. I don't know if I'm like 100% happy with them. A lot of times this is what happens when I go like outside of my norm. I'm just like not as pleased, which is why I don't do it as often. But I don't know if yeah, I don't know if I'm 100%, but maybe the mascara will help because I just feel like there's just like so much lightness on my eyes. But we'll add the mascara and see what I think. So I have a little duo here to try out. This one here is the Lancome Booster. So it's like the mascara primer, and then the Urban Decay Perversion. Sometimes I do get a little bit of smudging on my lower lashes from the Perversion mascara. So I'm gonna try a primer and see if it helps. And people say really good things about this one from Lancome. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this first. I feel like if I just left the white primer on, that would really be a look with these shadows. All right, primer is on. Feels kind of funny because I have not used a mascara primer since like college days, but go ahead now and try the Urban Decay and see how this holds up for me throughout the day. So I like the Urban Decay Perversion mascara, but I feel like definitely, I feel like that primer helped make my lashes even longer and maybe like separated them too. I like that. So far so good. And so I feel like adding the mascara did help. So I'm still not 100% on the eyes, but you'll have to let me know what you think. I don't know if I'm 100%, but I like it. You know, it's something different. It's all good. I like the palette. I like the brushes. I definitely want to use more and, you know, use them and try them all out and all of that, and before I get my review going for it. But yeah, so that is the eye look. So to finish off the face, I'm going to add my highlight. This is the Covergirl Trio. This is the Super Stunner palette. I like to use my Luxie brush with this palette. This is the tapered highlighter brush because it's just a little bit like not as like densely packed, and I feel like sometimes a fluffier brush with really, really intense highlights can kind of help, not necessarily downplay them, but like kind of a little bit, because these are all super intense highlights. I'm just going to use the middle shade today, so I'm going to tap lightly into that highlight, and then I'm going to go ahead and add to my cheekbones. This is a really, really beautiful highlight palette though, and more affordable from Covergirl, which is awesome. So one more like piece of exciting news as this video is going to wind down is that I have a video editor helping me out for the summer, which I am super, super excited about. Yeah, like super excited about. Her name is Mary. I will link her YouTube channel down below. And when she reached out to say that she, you know, was gonna have some free time this summer and she would love to help me, I like nearly fell off my chair in shock that someone would offer to do that. But when I got her email, I was so excited because editing definitely takes the most amount of my time versus filming a video, even researching videos. The editing is what takes me the longest. I'm not like tech savvy. I don't pick up on stuff like video editing very quickly. So when she offered to help me out editing videos, I just am so excited about that. So every video that she edits, that will have like the purple intro screen. I know that you guys have noticed that. And then I also do link her channel in my description box of every video that she does edit for me, because I appreciate it so much. I'd love if you guys went over there and said hello and all of that, because she is opening up so much time for me, which is amazing. And it's crazy. So she's doing either 1 or 2 videos for me a week, kind of depending on my schedule, how quickly I can get it filmed, you know, her schedule of course, and all of that. And I post 6 videos a week. So even doing 1 video for me has opened up so much time. It's like incredible. And if you guys don't know, I'm also a published author, and I've been working on my 8th novel. I originally wanted this 8th novel to come out in like March or April. But between moving to a new town, the incessant amount of laptop issues that I had, I went through like 4 laptops. Like I was buying brand new laptops and they were breaking within 1 week. Like it was crazy. So just with all of that going on, that book has gotten pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And actually the day that I'm filming this, which is Tuesday, I sent it out. I was finally able to send it out to my beta readers, who are my early readers. So after the book, you know, after I've worked on it with my editor, then it goes over to my beta readers and they read it, offer me their feedback if something doesn't make sense, what they liked about the book, where, you know, improvements could be, and then I'll fix it up again. But that's a huge step. Like it's a huge step to finally get everything back and forth with my editor and to finally, you know, make all the changes, you know, tighten it up and all of that. And then to be able to send it off to my betas is a huge thing. And even though that she's only been doing this for me for a couple of weeks, that made such a huge difference in my schedule, and I'm just so excited because I now feel like once again that my book is like back on track, and I'm so excited about that. So that's been such a cool thing. I feel like I'm going to be very sad once I lose her after the summer because I saw how much time it opened up for me, but seriously, it's been really amazing. So yeah, if you guys notice that purple screen, you'll know that she was the one that was working on the video with me, and I'm just so happy. And that's a little update on book 8 too, because I know I get so many messages from people of when is this next book coming out. Once I get it back from my beta readers and go through their feedback and make any changes, then it goes off to my proofreader, and once my proofreader tells me her schedule and when she thinks it'll come back from her, that's when I get a pretty firm deadline coming out. So that's the next step, and I'm so excited about it. Okay, to finish off my face, I'm going to use my lip liner lip gloss combo. So I have from Ofra, this is their Silk Lip Liner. And then for my gloss, I'm using this one from Becca Cosmetics, one of the Glow glosses. And this one is in Opal. Alright, and then after that, that is going to wrap it up for today's Get Ready With Me using my Shop My Stash picks for the month of July. I'd love to know what you thought of the products that I was trying out. So I feel like overall look is pretty good. Again, I wouldn't say it's like an absolute favorite of mine, but it was fun to do something outside of the norm and play with some of these blues and greens, all of that. So yes, let me know your thoughts down below. I hope that you guys have an amazing July. If you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in Sunday's video.